Mangopare! Mangopai! Kaupapa!
Rangatahi reconnecting with their inner warrior.
Whātaro ki tarangi! Somewhere they still know that they are Māori, but they've lost who they actually are, that identity.
This is a chance for them to actually just be a young man, have no pressure and have fun and maybe a new experience.
Bros for Change is an alternative education course helping troubled youth become responsible young men.
What do I want out of this program of kaupapa? Man, I want results. That's what I want.
I'd like to think that we're going to have amazing growth. I already see, I guess, that word potential in all of them. It's about really unlocking it.
For some of these kids, it's a second chance to get their life back on track.
I don't want these rangatahi in the system because it's a beast. It is a beast.
And a labour of love for the man whose own troubled youth inspired the project.
Everyone was like, bro, you can't write a program for vulnerable children when you've been in prison. So my thing was that I wanted to be successful in that just to prove them wrong.
It's the dawn of a new day in Kaikoura, and new beginnings are on the horizon. At Takahanga Marae, a group of local high school students are gathering. They're the latest intake for Bros for Change, a youth education program focused on real people, real talk and real change.
So at the moment, with all of you, your trust is all up here. If you fully trust you, the only way you can go down is this. If you muck up, then it comes down, okay? And then you have to rebuild that trust. So we'll treat you as, you're up here.
Have a good time. You'll be right.
The 20-week program is designed for rangatahi from tough backgrounds. Today, they're heading off to Wainui Valley, where they'll be spending orientation week and meeting Bros for Change founder, Jaye Pukepuke.
Hey, atua.
They must form quite a tight bond pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. We all sleep in the same place, we eat the same food, we all fart and snore and got stink feet, and you can't help but form a bond and build a relationship. This is the start of a 6-month program, so there's going to be a lot of things come up and a lot of challenges. So we just need to roll with the punches and support each other and make sure we all are sitting here at the end. Ready? 1, 2,
A former up-and-coming rugby league star, Jay developed this unique program 5 years ago with the goal of unlocking the potential in troubled teens.
I had opportunity to play rugby league professionally and make heaps of money, but I couldn't because I went to prison. I came here to try and help fellas like yourself, like myself, if there's an opportunity that comes up in life, whatever it may be, that you can then go and do it and not miss out.
Oh, too fast.
As a teen, Jay was tipped to achieve big things on the league field, but at just 16, his demons got the better of him.
They said a lot of things even when I was young. They labelled me stupid, hoary. They said, you're going to go to jail. And I went to jail and I went, you're right.
Jay ended up serving 6 years in prison for his part in armed robberies. But the experience made him determined to change his life and to help others to do the same.
Everyone was like, bro, you can't write a program for vulnerable children when you've been in prison. So my thing was that I wanted to be successful in that just to prove them wrong.
Jay couldn't do this without the background, what he's been through. What better tuakana could you ask for?
44-year-old Damien Kamana is the latest member of the Bros for Change team, and today is day 1 in the new job.
I don't want you to see the things that I've seen and the things that I know in the justice system, correction system.
Hey!
Damien too had a tough upbringing, growing up in a home where domestic violence was the norm.
We had a very dysfunctional family. As long as I can remember, my mother was abused. She was exposed to a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, different men in and out of our lives, had no father figure.
And he found himself treating his wife the same way his mother had been.
My mother always thought that I'd never do anything like that. And I told her, well, I did. Pretty hard probably owning that, and pretty hard telling my mother that as well.
But through his work rehabilitating offenders, Damien began to understand his own behaviour.
Because essentially I was sitting with men that were perpetrators of family violence. I knew I was exactly the same. So over the last 4.5 years, I guess I've learned a lot about myself.
And these experiences are used as teachable moments for the boys.
We all have a story of some sort. All those stories will come out over the next 6 months when appropriate to keep these boys on track, motivated and going in the right direction.
The aim of the course is simple: getting kids outdoors and keeping them out of jail. Māori under 18-year-olds now make up a larger proportion of those taken into police custody.
All right, we're going to play a game. You have to be in this area. I'll give you a minute and I'll turn around and I don't want to see anyone.
While it might look like pure entertainment, the activities are all designed to improve behaviours, like increasing their self-esteem and confidence.
Oh, I can't see anyone. This is a chance for them to actually just be a young man and have no pressure and have fun and maybe a new experience.
Do you see yourself in some of those boys?
Oh, all of them. You know, there's potential in all of them, that famous word potential, but it's whether we use it or not. Hopefully they can start from a level playing field rather than having to come out a hole like we did.
After the break, the key role Mātauranga Māori plays in restoring the boys' self-belief.
Think about what your ancestors gave up for you guys to be here right now. Your tupuna gave up a lot for you to be here right now.
Bros for Change encourages Rangatahi to get out of their comfort zone. The 17-metre high swing isn't just a thrill ride, it's a chance to challenge themselves to dig deep.
Scared, very. Yeah, giant swing. I knew it would be something that would put the boys in a situation where they would have to really search for courage and working outside of their comfort zone. You go through all these emotions in your head and it's you battling it and you want to give up.
Go to the top, Angel?
Nah. Yeah. I'm only going to go up like just a little bit.
But if you just push that barrier, then it's worth it. A sense of achievement. It's a small win. If you do it once, then you know you can push again. It's installing more belief.
Just as important as this test of mental strength is teaching the boys basic life skills. Like waking up bright and early.
For a week, they wake up at 6:30 and they train every day, all day. The idea behind it was that if you're young and you've got no skills and no qualifications, usually the type of job you may get requires you to start really early.
And just as vital, how to cook a meal.
So tonight we're making nachos. So it's real easy.
While serving his jail sentence, Jaye Pukepuke worked in the prison kitchen.
Always keep your eyes on the knife at all times, all right? I always wanted to be a chef. Did a bit of an apprenticeship and then did the theory side and then worked as a chef. I think that was the start of, when I started having self-belief. It was when I wanted to do something, I could do it. And I was like, hey, I'm not stupid. You don't put the onions in until the pot is hot. I think that translated into other things in my life. I carried that on and things got bigger and bigger and bigger, including, this program.
It's the mātauranga Māori elements of the program that are truly life-changing for these young men.
The idea of standing up and giving your pepeha is to connect with people in the room, but it's actually also to gloat about who you are.
If we can give these guys their identity and know their whakapapa and where they actually come from and who they actually are, I think that's important because they need to keep that. We should never lose it.
No, please!
Today, they're learning the traditional art of maurako, Māori weaponry. Developing their discipline, strength and identity.
The more energy you put into this, boys, the better you're going to feel.
The whole program's based on kaupapa Māori and in te ao Māori, the Māori world. Small things without shoving it down their throat all helps. There's all foundations to build on,
Mato.
And those foundations can lead to big things. An independent study of the program found that culturally based learning resulted in significant behavioural changes in Rangatahi, improving their attendance and engagement at school. Jay believes a stronger connection to his culture may have prevented him from going to jail.
You were ashamed of being Māori?
Yeah. My grandfather's tuhoi. It's only 2 years ago I went to his marae. So going back to tuhoi and meeting the family and visiting all where my grandfather went was just, putting more of me back together. They need to know who they are, not be embarrassed of anything. This is all things we're trying to do.
Despite being just 15% of the general population, Māori are more than 50% of all prisoners. And that's part of the motivation for ensuring the Bros for Change program is accessible to kids who need it, free of charge.
If we charged all the families, we would have no kids. We don't want to do that. We want to charge the government. I mean, you could give us, 10% of what it costs to hold them in prison for a year with better outcomes,
Finally, after 5 years of hard slog, Bros for Change has been recognised for its remarkable results. Receiving $500,000 from the government to get more rangatahi into training and employment.
Has it been tough for you to get that recognition?
Yeah, to start with, but no one wanted to be the first to jump in and say, yeah, we'll back you, because we were just a big risk. The idea was we just wanted to help people, and I think, well, that's working, isn't it?
In fact, it's working so well. Their Timatanga Hou program is booked out until 2022.
My favourite highlight so far is probably the swing.
The final evening at camp, and the boys reflect on the week's highs and lows.
What do I want out of this program? Oh, memories and tight connection with the boys. Get an 8-pack. Get muscles.
We're in the dugout with them at the moment, so they see us as equal and someone they can trust and someone they can talk to, and that's the whole idea.
What are you prepared to change to move forward?
That conversations and communication are the two key things to stop anyone from making a bad decision.
The boys have made it through orientation week, the first step towards realising their potential and a better future.
Are you excited to see where these guys end up in 20 weeks?
I am. I have visions of them standing there in 20 weeks in a nice shirt and being proud of what they've achieved with a full CV. I feel like some will be in full-time employment and ready, equipped with more life skills and experiences and some built resilience to cope with things that will come up in their life. And they will come up. It's never too late. You can do whatever you want. And that's what we're projecting onto the kids.